This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. Today's news is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New service and repair. Call Gunny's 775-727-6800.
Welcome to News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. Happy November. It's Tuesday the 2nd.
Well, authorities continue their investigation into the death of a man whose burned body was discovered last week at Cathedral Canyon. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue Chief Scott Lewis says the victim may have been involved in another fire earlier that day in Clark County.
The investigation is continuing. Portions of that were including an autopsy. We've also been in contact with Clark County authorities where a previous fire occurred on that same day. That is, it's a possibility that the same person was involved. It's my understanding that was an occupied structure. There was an introduction of some kind of flammable liquid, possibly an ignition source, and that fire was quickly extinguished. So there was an extensive damage to the structure. But again, the investigation is ongoing, so a lot of this information is preliminary. So there's multiple agencies investigating multiple fires that may involve the same person. So as that investigation unfolds, we're working with those agencies in a cooperative spirit. It's my understanding that it was another structure fire that occurred in Clark County that was potentially related to the individual that we were investigating and subsequently passed away in the Cathedral Canyon fire. Every indicator at this point, and again, the investigation is ongoing, is that there was two separate fire events. One of the fire events took the life of the individual that we're investigating.
Now info on a Pahrump area accident. A woman is now deceased as a result of injuries suffered in a crash west of Pahrump last week. Fire Chief Scott Lewis details what happened on Belle Vista near Ash Meadows.
Thursday afternoon around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we were dispatched for a report of a motorcycle accident with a critical injury. As we arrived on location, we found a trike well off of the roadway, resting upright on the desert floor. Apparently the rider had separated during the impact and in the process of leaving the roadway went down into a ditch, separated from the bike. The patient assessment revealed that the patient in fact had suffered critical injuries. Mercy Air was added to the assignment. We established the LZ on the highway, and patient care was transferred to Mercy Air, and that patient was subsequently flown to trauma. It was our understanding that later that evening, the patient did not survive her injuries. There was another rider, but they were on a separate bike, and apparently they were not involved in the accident. They're looking at a possible mechanical issue with the bike.
Well, a Raiders wide receiver is facing DUI charges after authorities say he caused a deadly crash early this morning in Las Vegas.
On November 2nd, around 3:30 a.m., the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department responded to a traffic collision near the intersection of South Rainbow Boulevard and South Spring Valley Parkway. That crash involved a Chevy Corvette and a Toyota RAV4. Responding officers located the Toyota on fire. Fire department personnel responded and located a deceased victim inside the Toyota. The preliminary investigation indicates the front of the Chevrolet collided with the rear of the Toyota. The driver of the Chevrolet, identified as 22-year-old Henry Ruggs III, a wide receiver with the Las Vegas Raiders, remained on scene and showed signs of impairment. He was transported to UMC Hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Police say Ruggs will be charged with DUI resulting in death.
And Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue responds to a call for a fireworks fire at the fireworks launch site here in Pahrump. Chief Lewis explains what firefighters discovered when they arrived there on Fox Avenue.
We were dispatched for a report of 2 boxes of fireworks on fire down near the fireworks shooter site. As we arrived on location, the RP had remained on scene. They informed us exactly where the box was. From our standpoint and our viewpoint, we could see 2 burning boxes at the end of the roadway. We responded to that location using a safety aspect because the fireworks are still discharging. Commenced a quick attack on it, knocked it down without incident. There were no injuries. Apparently these 2 boxes were left on the side of the road and ignited, and of course they were discharging, which caught the attention of the motorist. These were a 1.4 product, which means they were sold at a retail store. Obviously, in this situation, at least there were no structures around or any other exposures that could have caused additional damage. But it reminds us that significant injuries can occur, even to firefighters who approached this particular small scene, but they were still discharging fireworks at the time, so we had to use all due caution.
And Chief Lewis reminds everyone that the Pahrump fireworks shoot is only available for use with a permit, and it's only open a few times each year. The next time to legally make use of that site is this Thanksgiving weekend. And stay tuned, we'll be right back with much more local news here at KPVM.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, the Nye County Commissioners have voted no on the proposed acquisition of Desert Utilities after they took a more in-depth look at the state of repair and the forecasted financial investment needed to bring the utility system up to date.
At the October 19th Board of County Commissioners meeting, the board decided to say thanks but no thanks to the proposed acquisition of Desert Utilities by the town of Pahrump. After the board and their staff had more of an opportunity to take a more in-depth look at the state of maintenance and recommended repairs, the board gave a unanimous vote to say no on acquiring Desert Utilities. Here's some of what commissioners in the Public Works Division had to say about this deal.
I'm a little uncomfortable with getting a utility with so many major upgrades needed. We've already got couple of water systems in Nye County that need major upgrades.
The infrastructure is aging and there have not been capital investments year over year to keep that facility up to date. So not only would the purchase be a substantial out-of-pocket cost, then we would also be dealing with capital investments that could drive the utility rates up for that particular utility. There's several concerns associated with this project.
I do know Desert Utilities, there was an offer made that they rejected that was sub $1 million. So that tells me we're in the $1 million range to acquire this facility. But that's also not counting the investments we're going to have to make. You know, it's going to be substantial. Darren can tell you from all the other utilities that he operates, it's going to need a lot more than elbow grease. It's going to need a real investment.
They're not an asset. This is a liability to the county and to the people of the county. And I understand the concept of having a monopoly. Absolutely, we certainly don't want to do that. We don't want to harm the residents of Pahrump by purchasing this system, and then all of us giving them the shock that we have to raise their rates, et cetera, just to sustain. And so even if that's nice that somebody offered them, we'll say a healthy amount, but even if they were to give this to the county, we're already in the negative as far as I'm concerned in looking at the numbers.
It should be noted that even though the board said no at this time, Commissioner Blundo wanted to make it clear that the board's decision to not move forward with the acquisition should not act as a deterrent for other interested parties to take a look at buying Desert Utilities.
Not blocking. Hey, look, if somebody wants to go in, God bless, good luck. We're not preventing anyone. If there's something that changes, and we are open to be able to entertain it at that point, but not at this time.
Got it.
So I think that keeps all our options on the table.
Well, if you're in the market for health insurance, open enrollment begins today on NevadaHealthLink.com, the online health insurance marketplace operated by the state agency, the Silver State Health Insurance Exchange, that connects Nevadans to quality, affordable health and dental plans. For this plan year 2022, Nevadans can shop 126 qualified health plans. All plans are designed to fit each individual's budget and health needs. This open enrollment period, Nevada HealthLink is partnering with 7 insurance carriers, 2 of which are new to the exchange this year. Returning carriers include Health Plan of Nevada, Silver Summit, Anthem HMO Nevada, Select Health, and Friday Health Plans, while Aetna Health and Hometown Health Plans are new to the exchange. Customers can also explore 20 qualified dental plans among 6 dental carriers. The American Rescue Plan Act provides an increase in tax credits available to help lower the costs of monthly premiums. For assistance, call the Customer Assistance Center at 1-800-547-2927, weekdays between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Well, watch out. November 2nd is World Fertility Day. And today we meet a new dad who feared he'd never father a child due to male infertility. Erica Foreman has more on how he beat the odds for his baby boy.
You have to take a step back and realize just how much of a miracle he really is.
2 years ago, Eric and Brienne Elves were told conceiving a child was against the odds.
When you're told that there's a possibility that you don't have sperm, there's a possibility you're not going to have a child, you sort of feel the shame.
Hear about shooting blanks or people joking about it, and I didn't know it was a real thing.
Eric was diagnosed with azoospermia, a condition causing male infertility. After meeting with several specialists, Cleveland Clinic urologist Dr. Neil Parekh offered hope.
All the studies and literature show that infertility is a couple's disease. 50% of the time, there is male factor involved in infertility. So it's not only the female side.
After a year of testing and trying medications, the couple opted for a surgical solution called microtesy.
They go into the testicles, they pull tissues, and then they will look under a microscope and hope to find sperm.
While Eric was in surgery, Brienne underwent an egg retrieval down the hall.
I was being wheeled over to go wait for Eric in the waiting room. Dr. Parekh actually stopped me in the hallway to tell me that they had found sperm. So it was a really, really exciting time. I will never forget that moment.
4 months later, an embryo was transferred into Brienne's uterus, and then the best birthday gift Eric could ever imagine.
I was hoping to be able to give him a positive test for a gift, and it worked out.
We realized, what we were dreaming of was going to happen.
Baby Noah is now 7 months old. His parents say he's an easy baby, but admit bringing him into the world wasn't.
I will be the first to tell you that it's not easy. But I will also be the first to tell you that it's worth it, 100% worth it.
The journey seems long, and it's going to be a while. Don't give up. I would do it all over again if it meant to have my son.
At Cleveland Clinic, I'm Erica Foreman.
Thanks so much, Erica. Well, the CDC estimates about 9% of men in the United States are infertile. The doctor adds that infertility in general is rising globally. He encourages couples to talk to their doctors or seek out a specialist if they're struggling to conceive. News 25 will return in just a moment with your sports.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Hello, sports fans. A big week for the Pahrump Valley High School fall sports teams. This week alone, the boys and girls soccer teams, the volleyball and football teams all have playoff games. Yesterday, the boys soccer team fell to Basic of Henderson 3-2. I spoke to Coach Chris Roberts prior to getting on the bus for the game, and he told me that this time around, though, he was optimistic after losing in late September to Basic 5-3.
So this time when we play Basic, we're actually going to have almost our full team, so we were lacking a few players last time. So defensively, we've gotten stronger, and offensively, we have a little more tools, so we'll be looking towards pressing them just as much as they're going to be pressing us.
So the boys soccer team is over for this season, but the #1 ranked girls team plays its first round game today at a neutral site in Las Vegas against the Kippo Academy, who the Lady Trojans have beaten by a combined 17-0 score in its 2 contests this season. Coach Julie Carrington is not looking past a Kippo, but she knows her team's path to a championship, if they win tonight, will go through Virgin Valley.
Virgin Valley is one of our top competitions. The first game we played in them, which is a non-league game, was only 2-1. They were out girls, we were out, I believe, 1 girl, and they will be the team that we have to beat to be either first or second state. We have to beat Virgin Valley to get to the 3A championship game.
The girls volleyball team of PVHS is hosting its first round game against Slam tonight. I spoke with Coach Chris Farrell yesterday about tonight's game.
So we are playing Slam. We have played them twice in league because they're part of our league. We're 1-1. I feel pretty good with our girls going into it. They're on a pretty good high right now after a couple of wins in a row. So we hope to beat Slam tomorrow, and after we beat Slam tomorrow, we move on to the next round, which we will be away. Our game tomorrow is home at 6 o'clock.
I'll have a wrap-up of both the soccer and volleyball games on Thursday. In the meantime, the PVHS football team, having had a bye this past week as the playoffs began, will host Virgin Valley Friday night in the second round of the 3A playoffs. The Trojans were beaten 42-18 the last time these two teams met in early September, but the PVHS boys have turned it around as of late, winning its last 4 games and earning the Mountain League title in the process. Coach Joe Clayton's team used the bye week to their advantage.
Yeah, it was awesome. We had the bye week because we were league champs, so it made it kind of nice. We could get healthy, a couple of guys that were banged up, and just look forward to this good hard week and facing these guys on Friday.
Kickoff for Friday's game is at 6 p.m. All game tickets for these playoff games will be available at game sites, but cash will not be accepted. Ticket prices for all Nevada Interscholastic Athletic Association games are also available online at niaa.com/tickets/index. The Golden Knights are in Toronto to take on the Maple Leafs tonight, and Game 6 of the World Series is about to begin. The Braves lead the best-of-7 series 3-2, but the teams are playing in Houston, where Luis Garcia takes the mound for the Astros against Max Fried for the Braves. If the Braves win tonight, they are the World Series champs for the first time since 1995. If the Astros prevail, Game 7 will take place tomorrow evening in Houston. If you have any athletes, inspirational stories, or ideas, drop me an email at dougf@kpvm25.tv. Now back to the news desk.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
We've had some great sunsets lately,
It's
and this is
gorgeous.
from Romano.
Yes, and look at those beautiful colors, the orange and peach, sunburst, yes, and let's take a look at what our weather has for us next. We'll illuminate that and more after the break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. Here you're looking perky on a Tuesday. Gonna have a taco tonight? Seems like a good idea if you're looking for a menu suggestion. Always sound on a Tuesday. Hey, look at Fernley, Fallon, Carson City, all the way down to Goldfield, really. 64 degrees up and down Nevada. 61 is the cool spot out in Tonopah. Way to go, Tonopah. Out to Beatty, 74 degrees. Up to Amargosa, 78 degrees. Closely matching, taking a third, I guess, to Las Vegas at 79. And Death Valley, California, of course, 86 degrees. Feeling pretty pleasant out here in the Valley of Nye. We've got 73 degrees in the Paradise of Pahrump, a high as much as 75. Big, burly, nasty degrees this afternoon as the winds blew gently out of the west-southwest to 4 miles per hour. 25% humidity, but again, it's a dry humidity as the sun rose this morning at 7:08 a.m. And it'll set this evening way early, 5:46 p.m. as nighttime consumes the day as we head towards December 21st and solstice. Low tonight, about 51 degrees, not too bad. Winds still mild as that humidity creeps up to 37%. Are we going to have clouds tomorrow with all that humidity? No, just lots of dry humidity. I don't know what that is. Temperatures hovering right around 80 degrees next 4 or 5 days. Sunday, we're going to start seeing a cooling trend. Winds kicking up just a little bit to about 10, 12 miles per hour. As we head into the week and temperatures dropping back into the 60s by Tuesday, we'll pick up some cloud cover, but basically pretty nice fall weather. Back to the desk, here's Deanna.
Thanks, John. Now here's some highlights for everyone of KPVM TV and 8th Country Radio participating in the Halloween Spooktacular Sunday night.
Many businesses, organizations, and individuals participated in the 2021 Halloween Spooktacular at Petrick Park. Thousands of trick-or-treaters made their way to collect their holiday treats. The Nye County Sheriff's Office, Bikers Against Child Abuse, Kiwanis Club of Pahrump Valley Seroptimus, Danbury Handyman, Quality Signs, Smiths, Inspiration Senior Living, Pahrump Valley Rotary, and even KPVM TV handed out treats. The Kiwanis Club of Pahrump Valley organized games, and Tony Casey, the creator and director director of the event that has been happening for 8 years, held a costume contest with many fantastic prizes donated locally. Thank you to everyone who participated in this fun Halloween festivity.
Well,
They're so cute.
Yeah, we showed them a lot of the Halloween events last night. We wanted to show that spooktacular.
Definitely.
And as usual, we are always asking people if you got any photos around town or if you have any videos, especially of those amazing sunsets, send them into news@kpvm25.tv and we can get them on the air. Thank you so much for
we'll give you a
participating
shout
in
out.
that. Definitely. Thank you. And we'll see you back here tomorrow night. I'm Deanna.
I'm Unette.
Good night.
Good night.